Okay, I think it's live. Okay, I think it's live. Cool, it's working. Hey! This is really weird. Thanks, Josh. Hey, Jim. What are you guys up to this evening? Can you guys hear me, or is it like low or noisy? Probably gonna be kind of noisy in the background. Hey, Jim. Hey, Sparky. How's it going? Board game. I did some tiles for a board game a couple months back. They're like about 4 inches square, and they were interlocking. It was kind of cool. Like 25 or 30 of them, I think. It's weird. Xbox. I got rid of my Xbox. I have a PS4, but I haven't really honestly played it in months. So, mostly just kind of testing this out. I've never done this before, aside from hanging out with everybody else in a group. And it's a lot harder to find things to talk about when you're by yourself, it looks like. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff behind me. The filament and the Manzinger, MZ, whatever his name is. It's part of a video that I would be recording probably tomorrow. Hey, Daniel! Low voice. Okay. Well, let's see here. See if that's too loud or not. $250 dominoes. Wow. Castle invasion. Oh, that sounds like fun. Is that like a Thingiverse thing or something that you've created? No, Xbox in the last year. I played, let's see, I had the Xbox One, and I played it for maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks, and let it sit, and then I got rid of it and got a PS4. I've got probably a couple hundred hours on the PS4, but haven't touched it in months. I beat the game that I was playing, and actually can't even remember what the game was called. That's how much I really cared about it. This time delay is really freaking weird. Nice. Hey, Duplicate. Hey, Tom. Long time no see. You gotta do another video, man. .360. I had a 360 like, ah. I had a 360 a few years back, but I really didn't play it much. I think I hacked it up, and yeah, I hacked up the console, and then it got a red ring of death, and that was the end of that. PS3 is fun, but I've not owned one. Nintendo Wii. I don't have a Wii, but I do have a Wii U, but that's been sitting a year and a half untouched. I was obsessed with the amiibos for a while. I think I got like 20 or 30 of the very first amiibos. They all came out, and had them all on pre-order, so I like bought all of them almost. But then I got mad that they weren't interchangeable with all the games. They were only good in Super Smash Brothers. That kind of sucked. Yeah, Steam is a lot better. JATMN. I guess I should probably do a video or something on that, huh? JATMN is an abbreviation. The reason why there's a dot in the middle is because I was able to get the domain .mn. I forget what country code it is, but basically it's a 5-letter acronym: Jack of all trades, master of none, more or less. Interesting prints. Not really. The Ultimaker 2 has been running some ABS for the last week or so. I've burned through about a spool and a half, testing out the enclosure that was sent over by Printed Solid. I actually really like that, but I took the door off because I need to remount it. I didn't mount it correctly, and the heat got to it, and it kind of like fell off. And so right now it's printing some PLA, and it's actually just printing a prototype part that I designed for a Core XY printer that I've been designing and building this year. It's been taking way too long. And then the One Pro is got a really tall cube in it. I've been testing some settings with testing some layer height settings with some different filaments. I was getting some weird artifacting, so just testing that out and seeing what was going on. Cover band for Slipknot. Wow. Print it in carbon fiber. That would be cool. Has the stream been pretty smooth? I have this set at a fairly high bit rate for 1080p, and it doesn't show it's dropping anything, but I don't know how accurate that is. Cool. One heck of a delay, though. That could drive you nuts, actually. Jeez. Thanks, Duplicate. Duplicate. I was just noticing I still have the fabricator over there. Still need to get back to that fabricator mini. I was doing a lot of printing on it when I first got it, and I took it on a vacation trip and literally printed a whole spool of protopasta on it, and then I haven't touched it since. What is my day job? Oh, well, I'm an inspector. I am probably one of the most hated positions in any industry by both the company and the customer. I'm an inspector for sheet metal and CNC fabrications, and so I'm the in-house inspector for the facility, and I check parts and say that they're conforming or non-conforming, and tell the machinist that something needs to be changed or to address different issues with dimensions or quality of the part. And then at the same time, I'm also the one that gets yelled at by the customer when the customer says, "Hey, this isn't very good," or "Hey, you made this wrong." Usually don't get yelled at too much because it's usually not called for when they do, because it's usually an issue with engineering design and something that's not achievable, or over inspecting tolerances when they're not called out on the blueprints. So just watched the Monoprice Select mini review and decided to order one. Do you have any suggestions for upgrading the printer? You know, my Monoprice mini, he's currently hiding back there right now. Over there. He's behind that guy. It's actually printing right now. The only modifications I did to mine was I updated the firmware pretty much right off. I forget who makes this printer actually, but there's a group on Facebook dedicated to the Select Mini, and they have a bunch of guides for updating the firmware. And I updated the firmware on the controller and the firmware on the touchscreen, and then I went in and did a PID auto tune with I think it was in Repetier Host I did it, and so that stabilized the temperature. Mine had kind of an erratic temperature when I was doing the sample print, and then from there I'm still using tape on the bed. The tape that came on it lasted me a good 20 prints or so, and then I had to take it off because it ripped, and I'm just using painter's tape right now. Make sure you clean off the painter's tape with rubbing alcohol a couple times, and then it should be pretty good to go. Aside from that, I haven't done anything to it. It just prints. Electrical inspector? Oh my gosh, no, I hate electricity. I've got a background in IT as well, and I did a lot of Cat 5 runs. This is before Cat 6 existed as a standard, or mainline standard anyways, so I ran a lot of Cat 5 and Cat 5e. That was the highest voltage that I would touch, and still to this day, I do not like touching mains or anything else. But yeah, the Monoprice Select Mini, mine's running mostly stock. I haven't modified the hot end or anything. I am using Simplify 3D mostly for slicing though. But aside from that, it works great as is. Just has a small build volume. Let's see here. So what's your guys' favorite proto pasta? I've been playing with a couple of them, but what's your guys' favorite? I know a lot of people seem to like the carbon fill, or the carbon fiber fill, and the aromatic coffee. What do you guys like? The AIO. Oh. That's all I can say is oh. It prints relatively decently. I haven't actually had to get much time on it. I've tried a couple scans, and I've been informed and I've seen that scanning an object that is very metallic, or even something like as simple as a thumb drive, if it's got a shine to it, it has issues scanning. I actually put this thumb drive in there with the lid off, and it scanned okay until it got to the plug side, and for some reason it decided that it caught a flare or something off of it, and made it like spike out at an angle that was like 3 inches long. It was crazy. So I haven't had a chance to play with the scanning much more since then, but it's on my to-do list. That's actually the next thing. I've been having issues trying to record the video for what's being set up behind me right now. Too stressful with work recently. But after that one's recorded, I'll be putting a lot of time into the AIO, and it's going to get a nice break-in cycle done to it, and see where it goes from there. It's kind of neat though. You can surf Thingiverse and My Mini Factory with it, and just like search for something and tap on it and tell it to print it, and it just goes. It's kind of cool. You don't have to connect it to a computer or anything, as long as it's on your Wi-Fi. It's got a built-in, looks like a built-in Linux computer of some sort with a touchscreen. Roll is stainless, and I can't get it to print for the life of me. Everything comes out mushy. Stainless. Stainless. I think I have stainless. Let me check real quick. That's carbon fiber. I don't know where my stainless is. I have stainless with the iron. I can't remember which one. I know I have one of the two. I'll give that a shot as one of my next filaments to try out. That was kind of... What settings were you running? It just comes out mushy, so how hot are you printing it? How do you go about funding commission work? Do you advertise, or do people just find you because you mentioned that you use the mini? Pretty much only for commissions. Oh, I actually have a 3D hub, 3D hubs thing on 3dhubs.com, and I get hit and miss work on it. Sometimes I'll get a bunch of orders in a week. Sometimes I'll go for weeks without any orders, and most of it doesn't exactly pay that well. But I've also got people that reach out to me on like Facebook and such, and so that's where that comes from. The commission works that I did on the Monoprice Mini was a direct order through Facebook from somebody who actually orders from me quite often, like every month or so, every other month, and they order pretty much 1 to 2 kilograms worth of printed item. It's the exact same thing over and over. Can't say what it is because of confidentiality, but I printed literally like I think it was like over 4 or 5 kilograms worth of filament on the Mini when I did the last like inventory batch that I did for that person. I contacted people via Instagram. They were not very much help, and I upgraded Microsoft. Jim, that sucks. Yeah, drop me a message and let me know what settings you were using. I'll try that out. I'm pretty sure I have the stainless, but I'll have to double check. Quite sure it was stainless. If not, I'll see if I can get some, because I actually want to try that one. Sucks that you're having issues though. Their support's usually pretty good. Have you tried bugging them on Twitter? PC ABS alloy from Potapasta. Crazy strong parts, but it has to be printed. Whoa, 275? I don't think any of my printers can get to 275. I don't have any with a hot all metal right now. Kevlar. That would be freaking awesome. I would love to try Kevlar. I don't know what I would print with it, but that would be really cool. Maybe you could do that mask thing that you were talking about out of Kevlar. Zup, Zach. Oh, hey, Zach. Didn't see you come in. Bumped it all the way 245. So they suggested last. 245. Isn't the stainless an HTPLA base? 245 kind of seems slightly low. Try 250. You're running all metal, so you really can't have any issues with going too high on your temperatures. At most, you'll start jamming when it starts gumming up. But the nice thing about an all metal hot end is you can always just ramp up the temperature a bit hotter than the last thing that you put in there, and you can usually just manually force it through with a different filament. At 245, it was just coming out as mush. Were you getting like a first layer adhesion to the bed or anything? Send me a picture of that. I'm kind of curious now. Have you had problems with a 3D printer mini monoprice? No, I haven't, Aaron. I haven't had any issues really whatsoever with my mini. Out of the box, for some reason, it wouldn't read the SD card the first time I put it in, and so it said there was no SD card, and I took it out, and I put it back in, and it worked, which was weird. And then I had some erratic temperatures on the hot end, but I addressed that with a PID tune and a firmware upgrade. But aside from that, I've not had any issues at all. 20% Kevlar, 80% nylon. Whoa. Yeah, I'm not sure what I would print with that. I have some Tolmans laying around that I still want to print with, and I can't even figure out what to print with that right now. I don't do many things that I don't print many things that can be printed really in nylon and make any practical sense. Finally got a commission print, and just have it add on Craigslist basically. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, good job on that, Zach. Oops, sorry about that. Turn that down. Oops. Yeah, Craigslist is like completely overloaded in my area with people just spamming like crazy, and so's 3D Hubs. There's like seriously 20 or 30 hubs within like a 10-mile radius of my local area. So like the only way you can really get any orders is having really great quality and like underbidding almost everybody, or just hoping that you get loyal customers. Layer adhesion was good, but when the print was done, I could smash the print. You smash it? That's weird. The layers never came apart. So your stainless kind of printed like a TPU, it sounded like. That's really weird. Huh. I'll have to look into that. Interesting. No problem, Aaron. Aaron, check out, I think it's MP Select Mini group or something like that on Facebook. They've got a ton of people in there that all they do is print a bunch of stuff and modify the heck out of their Select Minis. A few of them even put E3D hot ends on them. Kind of interesting. But they've got lots of answers over there. I'm a member of that group, and I went there when I was first setting up my mini to see what I should watch out for issues that people had. One place around here and their pro shop. Yeah, I live in like a manufacturing mecca kind of, so it's like saturated with people kind of like me, when people with like their first 3D printer setting up 3D hubs. But then there's also like a ton of commercial printing stuff. Like commercial printing was huge down in this area long before the FDM desktop stuff came around. So yeah, you really just have to be really great quality and really good price. Kind of sucks. 55 down the drain in my mind. A $15 inland print's nicer. Ouch. Yeah, I'm kind of curious because I thought the stainless is supposed to be actually fairly strong. I know the additive in the filament kind of breaks it down a little bit. Putting any kind of additive really in filament, especially if something non-standard, so like putting something that's not plastic in a plastic filament, messes with the bonding depending on what it is, and the strength. But the fact that it printed like a TPU is really freaking weird. And yeah, that's kind of a lot of money for that much filament. I love protopasta, but that part I have to agree with. The $15 inland, on the other hand, I don't know. I bought over $300 of it in my own money, and I've been through 4 spools or so, and my results are on both sides of the spectrum on that right now. Never Reddit page. Yes, I heard that as well. I'm not very active on there, though. What time is it over there, Zach? It's going on 10 after 9 p.m. here. What is a good wood to use? I assume you mean a wood filament? Honestly, I've not used very many. I hear good things about the proto pasta. I hear good things about color fabs is hit and miss from what I hear. A lot of people like. I've actually heard some decent things about the inland wood fill. I can't confirm that, but I held a print that was printed that came out really nice. Yeah, Zach, that would be a bonus. Most of the pro shops don't want the little stuff. That's one of the ways that I made most of my orders on 3D Hubs was I don't allow... You can make some more money if you allow local pickup of some sort, but if you charge for a decent amount, don't try to make a profit on it, but try to charge a decent amount for shipping, and then just charge a really low rate. I was ranking in like $5 orders and $10 orders, and then turn around and I'd get like $80 and $90 orders. And sometimes a lot of like $5 and $10 orders were just kind of worth it because most of my printing was done at night in the evening or something when I wasn't very busy. So sometimes like a $5 or $10 order took all of like an hour to print, and I threw it in a package and shipped it off. I was shipping at USPS, which is our local postal service in the US, and so I didn't even have to take it anywhere, it just was picked up. So little one-offs and stuff like that is a good way to get yourself started and get your rating up, as long as those prints are good. You got to treat those little orders like they're the big orders. But I've found that sometimes you get those little orders and they turn into big orders. I got a little $5 order from somebody, and then I got snowballed with like $70 and $80 orders from the exact same person, and they were just like back to back. Like I finished an order, I got another one. Any advice on how to eliminate small random lengths of missing extrusion on the top layers of a print running Hatchbox PLA 207 60mm a second? If you're missing sections of filaments, lower your print speed a little bit, increase your fan if you can. Otherwise, increase your infill. You're having issues bridging, it sounds like. But I would increase your infill. That's the go-to mostly, is to increase your infill. But you can also go on Thingiverse and get some bridge test prints and see how well your printer's bridging as well, and adjust that if you want to use lower infill. Just after midnight? Dang. Yeah, the price is going to be a factor on 3D Hubs for sure. It also sucks because they take like 12%, I think. So you lose 12% right off the top. But hey, when you get like, I don't know, I think one time I had like 10 or 15 orders open all at once, and they're all like $5 to $20, and I think I knocked all of them out in a day or something, and it worked out pretty well in my favor on that one. And also I had a bunch of printers at the time. I didn't have as many as I do right now, but I just kind of threw them on all the printers and told them to all print, and then I was done. Ordered some proto pasta from Amazon. First roll showed up here all out of whack on the roll, so I sent it back. And the next roll I got was smashed, so I'll pass on proto for now. I'm going to say the damage is going to be for Amazon's blame, actually. The spools that proto pasta comes on are cardboard, but they're actually pretty sturdy. And I've actually been to the proto pasta factory. They put a lot of care into making sure those are wound well. If you have a bad wind, you can contact them. I'm pretty sure they'll help you with that. As far as smashed up rolls, I would actually report that to proto pasta and tell them that Amazon's doing that. That's not very good. Because, yeah, you smash up the roll, you're not going to be able to run that. I would let proto pasta know about that one. But otherwise, if you can, I would order proto pasta from proto pasta, in all honesty. Or a local reseller, not really Amazon. And I'm a really heavy Amazon Prime user, and I'm still saying that. Shipping is a nightmare here in Snow, Mexico, Canada. Yeah, see, I'm kind of close to the Mexico area. Well, a couple hours, I guess. But, yeah. I've heard that about Canada. The importing stuff is kind of expensive, which is kind of odd because it's just like across the border. It isn't the top layers, it is anywhere throughout the print. So you're getting under extrusion randomly throughout the print. But you said... Oh, I'm sorry. Random extrusion layers of the print. Yeah, you said that. Okay. If you're doing that with Hatchbox at 207 and 60 millimeters a second, sounds like you're under extruding or your filament's snagging then. I would try running, just for the sake of it, run it around 30 or 40 millimeters a second and just see if it actually extrudes properly for whatever print you were trying. I would also lower the temperature, probably about 198 to 200 when you're running that slow too, so you don't over extrude it too much. Otherwise, yeah, it sounds like maybe you got a snag or too much tension on the line going into the extruder. If it's a direct drive, it can still suffer from this. If it's a Bowden, it's even more of an issue. Yeah, my thoughts exactly. Might pick up some next time I'm in Micro Center, see how it works out. I want to try their iron also. Yeah, I don't know. I never go to Micro Center. I have Fry's and Micro Center in my area. Fry's is like literally 2 or 3 minutes from work. And I don't buy filament there because the stuff that they carry at that location is crap or overpriced. And the Micro Center is only like 15-20 minute drive, but it's a direction that I never go, and the traffic going that way is usually a real pain in the butt. So I go to Micro Center like maybe a couple times a year, even though it's kind of local. And yeah, I'm still regretting that big purchase of inland filament for sure. I actually am kicking myself that I didn't pick up any wood fill while I was there, because that was actually what I wanted to try. That was dumb. I know they were talking about the inland PET G also on the Facebook groups earlier today. I guess I want to get some of that and try that out as well, because I don't know. Like I said, I'm not impressed so far. It's decent filament when you get the right rolls, but I've been through 4 of them, and I think 1.5 rolls it was good, and the rest wasn't. Thanks, Hunter. But no, seriously, try checking on the Facebook groups. I'm not gonna have all the answers, and I might be wrong, or somebody might have a different angle on it. And your extrusion issues can vary depending on the style of printer you have too. So if you have something like a Ultimaker or a MakerBot replicator style printer, which would be like the Wanhao Duplicator 4s, the Flash Forges and whatnot, and if you have like an Prusa i3 or the clones, a lot of that's all going to factor for your question if you're under extrusion. One experience with Protopost, and it was free stuff. Well, that's a great experience to have. I thought their coffee filament was kind of interesting. I hope I still have enough left. I accidentally used most of it when I was on vacation, and I didn't get a chance to review it. To me, it kind of smells like a caramel instant coffee. Like the instant coffees you get out of a little packet, you put the powder in, and put hot water on it. It smelled like that with caramel to me. Micro Center is the closest we have that sells stuff like that up here in Ohio. I haven't had great prints with inland. I do about 65 to 70%. Well, that's good. A lot of people do have a lot of luck with inland. That's why I went all out and bought a ton of it. But I'm thinking maybe the location that I was at just doesn't get a high turnover on their filament inventory, because they kind of went crazy when I started filling up my cart with filament, and I had like 5 or 6 associates like, what color do you want? Where do you need? Because it was scattered around the store. That's how little they sell. So I had like 5 different people looking for different colors of filament for me. It was kind of funny. So maybe the filament they had was just old or something. I don't know. Not just saying that because it was free, but it smelled amazing. You had to be close to the smell. Yeah. The the aromatic coffee proto pasta really makes me crave coffee, and I'm a coffee drinker, so that was pretty bad. But yeah, it smells good. The smell doesn't linger very far, but if you print for a long period of time and have an open style printer, the smell will start filling the room if the room's small enough. Hey Dave, how's it going? Thanks for showing up. If anybody wants to ask some questions about filaments or printers, you should like ask right now while Dave's in here because he's got all the answers. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, my experience with Micro Center, it was mostly just the shopping experience was fun, mostly just because I had so many associates trying to help me. I think at one point the general manager showed up too. But like I said, the experience with the filament's been hit and miss for me. And in all honesty, I get I get probably 95% of my filaments online. I don't buy it local. Well, I take that back. I don't walk in and buy it. Matter Hackers is semi-local to my area. It's about 25-35 minutes with no traffic. But usually when I get Matter Hackers, I still have it shipped. I'm too lazy to drive over there, and they kind of close by the time I get off work. Yeah, see, that's what I figured, that locations of micro centers are kind of a hit and miss. Like, there was a bunch of printers on display at the micro center I went to, but all of them were sitting, and they weren't really sitting because they were broken, it looked like. They were just kind of sitting collecting dust, like nobody really cared about them. And the fries near me is even worse. Like those printers, they have one maker bot on display, and it's never worked the whole time I've ever seen it sitting there, and I go there often. And everything else, they don't even have the boxes on display. They have a little placard with a picture of the printer and the specifications on it and the price. And so it's like, it's a great sales pitch. I'm not going to sell very many printers that way. Prints were hours long, but was in a room the whole time, so I probably didn't notice. Yeah, Zach, if you get a chance to do a print over like 30 minutes or so in the protopasta, the aromatic coffee aroma. Anyways, leave the room completely, like walk outside or something, and then walk back in. You'll know the smell will hit you once you get to a certain distance from the printer. I was doing it all on the Fabricator Mini, and I was noticing it. But the room was like 11 by 11 or something. There you go. Dave said it. Free shipping everywhere in the U.S. That's why I'm too lazy to go drive over there. And I'm close enough that it usually comes within the next day if I order it early enough. New bed, a new head, and we're working on a new printer, full open source kit. Huge volume with 2 independent heads. We listen your guys' suggestions. Oh, sweet! That sounds awesome, Daniel. Yeah, a new bed would be really cool. That's got to be my main gripe on that printer. New head. Huh. Wonder what you can change on the head. And an open source kit. That's a different angle. Huh. Independent heads like the BCN? Or what? Zach. Yeah, the fries at my location had demo printers for like I think a month at most, and now the only demo printer they have is the MakerBot, and it doesn't even work. It's broken. like physically broken. And they do carry somewhat of a decent amount of filament, maybe. I think Micro Center carried twice as much, and I wasn't really impressed on their selection. But the Fry's does cycle it fairly often, as far as people keep buying it and they have to restock it. But it's a brand of filament that I absolutely hate, so I've used like 10 spools of it and said forget it. I had too many issues with it. Should see my face more often. You see it right now! Yeah, no, I need to get back down there. Hanging out in Matterhatch is fun. Just sucks because you guys, the time you guys close is like barely enough time for me to get off work and drive over there. Went in to get my last Prospect Ultra and they didn't have one on display. I working at that. Interesting. Come on, Zach. Somebody's gotta have free shipping in Canada. Bound to be. I know Filament CA is up there, aren't they? I don't know what their local shipping is, though. I know it's expensive shipped to the US. Crafty shipping. Not sure what you're referring to. I missed that one. The clock. You're calling a printer the clock. That'll be interesting. Does it revolve? Is it a independent polar printer? Most days till 7. You're gonna regret saying that, Dave. Cat, that's a good question. I've not heard too many new models coming out either. It seems like most of the new models came out already. The CME CNC Rostock V3 came out already. The Aris came out earlier this year. Ultimaker released the Ultimaker 3. The One Pro hit this year. The Mark II came out early this year, and now they've already got the multicolor extrusion coming out this year. I wonder if they're gonna make that by Christmas. That would be kind of cool. But yeah, I haven't heard anything else of real new models coming out. Maybe eBay. Hey, I've gotten filaments on eBay. It's a hit and miss still, though. Filament CA failed me. Really? How'd they fail? Seem like nice people over there. Was the order very long ago? I know that they recently expanded their operations. That might have something to do with it. New goodies, start of the new year, nothing before Christmas. Bummer, but cool. Got stuff to look forward to next year. Awesome. I think there's we're due for some new printer technology, that's for sure. I'm waiting to see what BCN comes up with, and after this, the Sigma was pretty cool, but I'm curious to see what they do after that. Oh shoot, my mouse is dying. That's not good. Where's my charger? Hey Dave, the T10 has not been plugged in to a printer right now, but I have had it sitting on the charger for the last, I think, 3 days, turned on, and it's staying at 100% finally. So that's a plus for me, finally. Gonna do some more testing with that after I shoot this video, hopefully. So probably Probably by this weekend. BCN's great. They're still working on filling orders. We sell way more than we can carry it though. Wow, you guys are back ordering the BCN? That's crazy. You guys get in a lot of printers at once too. Jeez. They need to stop teasing that printer and just ramp up the production line. Well, Zach, that's your problem. You were using the M3D. No, that's bad spooling is pretty bad. I would maybe give them another shot. I know that they changed up a lot of stuff since the beginning of the year, and I've heard that they've changed a lot of their spools since the beginning of the year too. And they recently expanded, I think, within like the last month or a couple months or something. So hopefully you get a better experience. That kind of sucks. E3D has a few things coming out. Really? I saw they broke into the filament market recently. Curious to see what they do. That sock was kind of neat, but not much of a show changer or anything. Matter Control has a few new things. Yeah, Matter. I'm playing with the new alpha version of Matter Control. That changes things up a little bit. We're going to be doing some more testing with that soon. One 1.6 is due at the end of the week? Wow. Huh. Okay. I have to try the desktop versions more. I've been trying it on the T10. He's actually impressed the extruder pulled the whole print. That's awesome. You should have gotten pictures of that. Flying 3D printer hanging by a spool. I haven't done that, but I've done the other way around. I usually use, on the One Pro, the spool is mounted on the side right now, but my Ultimaker 2, as you can see, the spool is on the side of the printer. That's because I have it sitting on a metal stand, spool stand. I don't put the spools on the back because it's too hard to get to, and because I was using spool sizes that didn't work well on the stock spool holder. And then actually pretty much all the rest of my printers have spool stands, and the stand is metal. It's got some decent weight to it, but I've had the printers pull the spool all the way to the printer and like get jammed up at the extruder because of bad winding on the spool or whatever reason. Or if the spool was wound too tightly towards the end. It's kind of funny just seeing the spool just kind of like hanging and like getting stuck on the side of the printer. But it's impressive. It's actually kind of impressive that the M3D managed to do that. Yeah, grinding the filament's not going to be too bad. My biggest concern on that one would have been seeing the printer drop after it grinded away through the filament enough that it would snap. But otherwise, the grinding, you might get a jam or something, but it's not going to do anything really. Yeah, you should have recorded that. That would have been a funny intro for sure. I think I would be tempted to do that again and just set up for it to do that. Just see a printer climbing up in the air. Alright, well, this was fun. I'll probably do this again, actually. Let me know, leave some comments on the video if you guys see some issues with the recording or with the sound or whatever, and I'll try to adjust things. Got kind of a makeshift setup right now. But I think I might call it for right now, and looks like a bunch of people are blowing up my direct messages everywhere else looking for more help. So, I'm going to catch you guys later. If you have any questions or anything else, go ahead and drop them in the comments or tweet me at the JATMN on Twitter. But anyways, catch you guys later.